Hey, travelers! We're in a new location. If we're gonna be called the Taproom Travelers, we probably should travel, even if it's within the same town that we're in.
Just backyard hopping. That's what we're doing at this point in the game.
That's all right. And you're the one that has all of the Bourbon County, or at least most of it. So why not be at your place, huh?
Plus, this way we can all be in the socially distanced in the backyard because we have people helping us out today because we're finally doing the Bourbon County episode.
Let's be honest, we're not going to make it through all of this on our own.
So we got some of our hardened drinking friends with us here. So
yes.
So
we've got 6 years of Bourbon County, starting with 2015. So all the way up to 2020.
So we got 15. So Bourbon County, first of all, is a barrel-aged beer made by Goose Island, which has now been bought by Anheuser. But they were probably one of the first. I'm sure them and Founders would argue back and forth who was actually the first to do barrel-aged beer like this, or stout aged in barrels. So
yeah.
Regardless, they're one of the first guys to do it. And we also got some Miller High Life to be our palate cleanser.
Because why would you use water?
Why would you use water? Is my thought. That way, we're not showing just one big boy all the love. We're showing both big boys all the love.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're going to show one big boy love, you better show the other one. Otherwise, they tend to whine.
It's like that, what was at the end of Roger Rabbit when Mickey and Bugs Bunny are talking, falling out of the airplane. They had the exact same amount of airtime. It's kind of what we're doing here.
Oh, my gosh. You made a movie reference.
I know movies. I don't
can't
know music.
believe it. Yeah, you didn't know Alanis Morissette. Let's rewind a few weeks, and I made an Alanis Morissette reference, and you just looked at me like I was the biggest idiot ever.
I look like everyone that way. Just my face.
I referenced Jagged Little Pill. It was her most, Yeah, God from Dogma. No? Did you see Dogma?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who God was in Dogma.
Alanis Morissette.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
There you go.
Well, shit.
You never knew this whole time. So, 2015, still got some bubbles, so that's good. The bottle wasn't bad, at least in that way. It's got carbonation.
There you go. So, yeah, I've been sitting on these guys for a while. I never intended to sit on it this long. It just happened, but I got to do, several years ago, I got to do 4 years of Bourbon County, and really after the 5-year mark is when things start dropping off.
Sure.
Even arguably maybe the 3rd or 4th year mark. So this one, it's going to be interesting. I guess let's just jump in.
Still got a boozy nose.
The other one got one? Okay.
Yeah.
I would
still
say
boozy.
Boozy, I don't get much of the vanilla. A lot of times Bourbon County's got like a nice vanilla pop to it.
Yeah.
I say just get stout and booze. The heat has gone from the booze, though.
Yeah.
It's just a rich booze flavor without that hot heat burn in your mouth.
Right. I would have thought that by this time that some of the booze would have mellowed out a little bit, but...
Yeah. Now, the question is with the barrel aging of stouts, what barrels are they using? Do you know, Zach? No question.
And that...
Yeah, I don't know if I exactly know what exact barrels they're using, but that definitely does have a bourbon flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least they're not false advertising that way.
It's not bad, though.
No, it's...
So this way, I figure we can keep the glasses, so that way if we want to do continuous comparisons of one flavor versus another, we have that option.
Before we get too far along.
Yeah. Palate cleanse. This might be the most Bourbon County I've ever drank at one time. Like I'm just looking down the lineup here, and I'm getting a little.
It's a little intimidating, isn't it?
Intimidating. Yeah. Getting the jitters.
Don't get the jitters too much. We got several bottles to go. I don't imagine that the color is going to be any different. Obviously, it's a stout. I would be super surprised if it was.
Yeah, I would say I gave you guys sample glasses that you can't even see through just because I'm like, you know what the color is going to be? Black.
It's going to be black.
You do get more head retention, though. You do get a little bit more head retention in this one.
Yeah, a little bit. That's what she said.
Ooh. That's a lot nicer.
No booze at all, really.
Yeah, that's smooth as silk almost. You almost call this Kessler.
Yeah.
They're Kessler barrels. That's what they're aged
Ah,
in.
see, Kessler's not even bourbon, so
That's Canadian.
they
whiskey,
lied.
isn't
They
it?
lied to us that year.
I don't know.
Yeah, this one tastes completely different than
This
that
one's a
other
lot
one.
like this one is like overly in many ways. It's just like 2 notes. It's like a stout, an imperial stout flavor.
And booze.
Yeah, a very simplistic stout flavor. Whereas this one, you're getting a bit more complexity.
And it's a little more. If you can ever call a stout sessionable,
Well, a sessionable,
yeah.
session Bourbon County seltzers. Is that what we're gonna start making now?
Well, I'll give it time.
I remember they tried to make hard those twisted teas. They tried to make a barrel aged version of
Oh
those.
God,
I was like, who's asking for barrel aged twisted tea?
nobody. But did anybody ask for hard seltzers?
Did anyone ask for 100 varieties of hard seltzers?
No, but we still got them anyway. Bud Light seltzer.
That's fantastic.
I'll be honest with you. I like that better than the 2015.
Makes you keep wanting to drink it too.
Yeah.
You see, you
But
get
I'm gonna
like these.
stop.
You get a little softer, a little bit more vanilla notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly easier drinking.
Yeah. I like that. Well, I mean, that also holds true because this is 5 years old now. So maybe
Yeah.
at that 5-year-old mark, you lose all
That's
those.
where-
You lose all those secondary kind of nuanced flavors.
Oh, Jake wants to try some. He's ready for that
Jake's
second
ready.
one. Good
Ooh.
idea on the champagne of beers for a palate cleanser, by the
Yeah,
way.
it tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
It's ideal.
It's about as nothing as you can get.
See, when it comes to palate cleanser, I like something with bubbles in it because the bubbles help cleanse
Sure.
the palate.
Yeah.
If you just do straight water, you tend
It's
not
a
to
nice
get it.
nice washing of the palate.
Yeah, so a lot of times people use like seltzer water, but I'm using the original seltzer water, light beer or American Domestics.
American Domestics, yes. The champagne of beers. Yeah. Can you imagine what people in other countries think of us making beer and putting it in a stupid bottle like this?
They do that all the time in Europe.
I mean, it is for 2020, so
Every Budweiser I drank in
There was
Greece
gonna be a
had
year.
foil top.
yeah.
I was like, who's doing this to a Budweiser? Why does this have foil? No one cares.
It's to make it fancy, taste better.
So this is now 2017.
Yep.
Now 2016, ironically, I think is the year that had the bad batch, right? If memory serves me correctly.
Oh, the barley one.
There was
off.
a year that had an infection in it, but I didn't get any infection in the 2016 we were drinking.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't either.
Yeah, so.
But
Ooh.
thanks for not returning the bottle and getting something different. That way
Yeah.
we could try it. Otherwise, we'd have had to wait.
Oh yeah. I have so many 2016 in my basement; it's unbelievable. I was just when I was getting ready for this, I'm like, I got a bottle from each year, and I got 6 from 2016. So we'll have I have literally 5 more bottles of 2016.
Well, it smells the same.
I'm not even trying to smell these at this point.
It's got even a little bit more in it.
It's even richer.
Yeah.
It's like that. The bourbon stays consistent throughout the 3 thus far, but I would say that malt richness from the stout side.
And
of the
the added vanilla and the other flavors that are there cover that booziness up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot more balanced. There's definitely a tanking of flavors after a while.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to try that 2016 a year and then another year,
Right?
because I got a lot.
I think I still have a 2019 on the shelf, so
I bought a 2020 so I could start rebuilding my.
that-a-boy.
Yeah,
That-a-way. You think the show will still be around in that many years?
we'll see. I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, me neither. It's already been around for far too long.
There's a dribble more of that guy. Wow.
Tasted from the previous year.
Yeah, it's almost interesting they do that.
They're different, but I can't. I mean, this one obviously is just slightly boozier. The booze never goes away.
Yeah, the heat does with that more flavor. You do get more heat. It's almost like you have to kind of sacrifice a little bit, like
Right.
more rich complexity in the malt. You need to handle a bit more heat.
I'm still a big, since we've been doing this, I'm still a huge fan of letting bottles just sit for a while, on the shelf, and that way you drink them a year or two later or whatever.
I mean, I think that bears repeating. 99% of all beer made is meant to be drank now, today, as you buy it. But there is a few, 1% of beers that can be laid down for about 3 years. But even when you lay it, wine, most red wine should be drank within 7 years of bottling. Most times when they get to you, they're already 2 years old and ready to go. But there is a diminishing return after that 7-year mark where it just turns into vinegar. And I'd say beer is not dramatically different than that.
Right.
You never have to worry about it turning to vinegar, but
thank goodness for that.
Malt vinegar.
Well, so for instance, I got my hands on some of the Imperial Pumpkin from Lakefront this year, and it's a delightful beer.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
You gave me a bottle, I crushed it hard. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Well, it had pumpkin in it, so it's just
right. But could it sit? Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say the number one thing I've noticed is that heat. Yeah. Even with some stuff from Dangerous Man, you get it fresh. It's got that hotness to it.
And on the day that you drink it, you go, "This is damn good." Even the stuff that they barrel aged on Scotch barrels, was it hot? Hell yeah. But do I like Scotch? You bet. Yeah. So
it's not a bad flavor.
It's not bad, but could it mellow out? Yeah, it could.
How are we doing on time?
We're doing all right.
Let's keep cracking them.
All right. Just so everybody knows, it might be a two-parter, and that's what happens when you have 6 beers. Normally, we only have 3, so and all the random crap that we talk about in between.
Apparently, 2018 is when they started putting electrical tape on the bottles.
I don't know that that's a good. That's a good thing. I'm glad they went away from it. Yeah, there's none on this. That was maybe that was a way of trying to save the bottle a little bit.
I mean, these are an interesting size bottle. What exact ounces are these? Speaking of which, 1 pint. Huh. 1 pint, 9 fluid ounces. So it's just a bizarre goddamn size.
Yeah, nobody else makes this size of bottle.
Yeah.
And whoever's making these bottles for Goose Island is
raking it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We make these bottles especially for you.
Yeah, Bourbon County. Obviously, if no one's aware, that's in Kentucky, isn't it? Bourbon County, I'm pretty sure, right?
Sure. I don't know if there's an actual Bourbon County, but Zach says, okay.
Shit.
I know it comes, Kentucky.
Yeah. So it must be, bourbon barrels, too, I think, also give when you did, a Scotch versus bourbon, you get a different flavor. Scotch, you get all those smoky and kind of peaty flavors.
Oh, yeah.
With the bourbon, you get more caramel, I think, which lends itself to the vanilla a little bit more.
Which, speaking of that, before we get on to the next tasting notes, if any of you know beer that's been aged in Scotch barrels that we can get a hold of, you let us know. We've only gotten a hold of one so far.
I'd say this one has the best nose thus far. So we're on the 2018.
It's not just booze. It's a little more.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more complexity on the nose. A little sweeter notes. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm actually liking these more. The fresher.
As we're going on.
Yeah. You would think would be the opposite. You think 2015s would be the.
I'm still surprised that 2015s was as just straight booze as it was.
We also have to keep in mind that Bourbon County is a little bit like wine in that every season is a little bit different. There's a vintage reason quality to it.
Sure. That's good.
Ah, damn, that's good. Made me happy. How you guys doing over there? You guys need any more?
Take one more.
2017. There you go.
By the way, you can see what we actually thought of them on Untappd. I don't know if Troy ever does Untappd anymore or not, but
since I updated my phone, I got logged out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck?
And I'm the worst human.
I agree.
I'll get back in.
He has learned how to text again though. So
I'm getting better at the texting.
Instead of just me texting him and then him answering out loud, and expecting the phone to respond.
It took like 4 years.
I know. It was a very long time.
Because Stephanie would be like, "Did you just respond verbally to that text?" I'm like, "Oh, I should."
Yes, you did. Phone just doesn't respond for you. You actually have to do.
Does. That's the beauty. I can hit a button and it's like, oh.
Oh, that's why you become more active. Very good.
Or at least try to.
Thanks, Siri. Yeah. When Troy wants to text, he texts. Yeah, he's all in. And he was all in for Bourbon County Stout.
Oh, I saw that we had a good day on the calendar here, and I'm like, let's commit to this.
I know. It's almost December here in Wisconsin, and it's unseasonably warm.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we need to do this. We got 2020. We got 6 bottles. Let's rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also didn't count on enough glasses.
I noticed. Yeah. But that's okay.
All my preparation for nothing. Are we doing on time?
We can probably do one more.
I'd say why don't we save the next 2 for the next one, and then we'll do a full wrap up.
All right, that sounds good. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back, and we're going to finish off this Bourbon County Stout Day.
We'll keep going as long as we can.
Actually, I'm doing pretty good so far. How are you doing?
I'm feeling pretty solid.
I kind of my palate though.
I would have eaten more before this, but life.
I had leftover Thanksgiving stuffing for breakfast.
I also had that for breakfast with 2 eggs on top.
Nice little base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love stuffing.
Yeah, cornbread stuffing too, so it really sits with you.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds delicious.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So we're moving on to 2019. And this seems to be the one that we have the most of. I have a bottle at home. Troy has several bottles.
No, I got 2016.
Oh, 2016, that's right.
This might
what was the other one that you said you had several bottles?
2016. And 2020 now.
There you go.
Yeah. First of all, we should mention 2018. Who was the gal that helped us get secure that bottle? Because that was the one that we were missing.
If I could remember names, that would be great. However, we did do a trade for beer. My lovely wife found somebody that had a bottle of 2018 out in the
ether.
Out in the ether.
Yeah.
And since she is the nicest person in the world, my wife, and this gal that traded us.
Definitely not us.
It's not us. If I asked someone to trade beer, they'd see my profile picture and they'd go,
That's how I get pepper sprayed.
Yeah. That's why I don't talk to people. I realize what I look like. I look at myself every day and then go, probably shouldn't talk to people or even try to act nice.
I've been told by 4 people in the last week I look like a terrorist. So
yeah. Like the beard, though. I'm a big fan.
Well,
Keep it going.
I'm doing my best.
I'm going to try. I'm catching up to you.
You're going to lap me within months. What took me a year to do will take you months.
Oh, it'll be great. By the time February rolls around, we'll have it'll be great. It'll be good.
This is a lot of work right here. So 2019, if you remember that was last year.
That was a good year. 2020 sucks.
I say in comparison to 2020, most things are good years.
Who knew that 2019 was going to be such a great year? For most of us, 2019 was a shit year. But
I would say it's a pretty bad year, generally speaking.
But now in hindsight, looks pretty good.
I lost 2 grandparents in 2019. So
I did too. Yeah.
Still better than 2020, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Everybody.
What's wrong with 2020?
Here's to 2019.
Oh, how I miss you.
Oh, how I miss you so much.
I get definitely more bourbon on the nose. That's like the one thing that has definitely increased from up our sample glasses.
That's a little hotter. I would say the vanilla notes are a little more there.
They're crisper.
A
bit more
it's more present. But you're starting to get on the back end that booze again.
Yeah, that booze is definitely way more prevalent. This might be the most booze thus far, like significant increase. It would seem like if you go back and try 2018 here. Wow, that is an increase. Yeah, I would say
even as you go on. I mean, just
this is becoming a crazy game of just try everything.
I would say right in the middle, somewhere
I'd say 2018's been the strongest thus far.
Yeah. 2019, I'm starting to notice it's heating up again, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the vanilla and the more complex flavors are there.
Yeah. There's just such a bite to that 2019 still. I'm starting to think 3 years might be the magic. And that's based on this experience and the other experience where I did 4-year vertical for a beer fest. I'm starting to think 3 to 4 years might be the sweet spot for Bourbon County. So if you at home have Bourbon County.
And to be honest with you, the stuff that we've done on this show in the past, 2 years is probably 2 to 3 years is probably that.
Not just to this, but general.
Not just this, just everything.
General
I would say,
aging of beer.
Yeah. Don't age IPAs. We've said that in the past.
I think we say that just about every IP episode.
Don't
you
do
buy
it.
that IPA, the best moment to drink it
Is now.
is when you grab it. That second you grab it in the store, if you could just
Drink it in the store.
Yeah. Especially if it's like a fresh hop or anything like that.
Yeah. And I've noticed that some people are trying to age their IP. Don't do that.
I actually went through I have like this like motto or like rule I follow. If I ever come across an IPA, like a can, let's say you buy a 6-pack and you look at your date and you see that it's less than a month old, I just make it a priority to drink that as quick as possible because like you're just going to experience such a fresher, more enjoyable beer. Finding old IPAs in the market's relatively easy.
Yeah. Yep.
So whenever you come across like super fresh dates, you gotta just enjoy it. You know, it's
There's a reason that they have drink by dates on those
it's
cans
like
and bottles.
ice cream in summer. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll notice on these
Back to Bourbon County.
the 2020 just the drink by date on the 2020 is 2025.
Oh, really? They
So
say
they're
5
given
years.
5 years.
Oh, that's interesting. And we have 5 years here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
6 years. There's 6 bottles.
Oh,
Troy.
6.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. What's the drink by date on this one?
Can't read that.
I'll just let you do it. You found it on the last one. I'll let you.
15. October 15th. That can't be right. I don't know. There's a lot of numbers, and there's an October there,
Let's see it.
but that's a 15.
Yeah, that might. I think just a bottle date.
I think they might have gotten that one wrong. The 2017, 2024. So
We're almost
I don't
there.
know.
Next presidential election.
Oh boy, can't we just wait for that? It's good stuff.
Let's just a general sigh of anxiety around.
Just a lot of. I think even people walking by heard next presidential election and they went,
Wow. Okay, let's open up this last bottle and then we can just start hopping around and talking. Now I'm going to tag in some other people to talk.
Yeah, and then I think we'll do. We have some variants today, so we'll do.
That'll be the third episode, maybe.
We'll do an extended version of this episode. If you want to stay along for that, we'll make it a separate thing that you can watch on your own.
If you want to watch just a bunch of chubby white dudes get drunk.
I mean, that's
Stay
pretty much
tuned.
every week. So if you watch this every week, that's what you're already signed up for. And thank you for signing up for that, by the way. While we're pouring this last bottle, I just want to remind you, we're only about 100 subscribers away from that magical number of 1,000.
Looking at you, Zach.
It's only taken us 6 years, just saying. But we appreciate all of you, and thank you for subscribing and watching every week.
Wow, this 2020. Damn it. I'm not going to lie to you. 2020 is good right off the bat. For even
The nose,
even fresh, it's even fresh.
the nose really, there isn't a lot on the nose.
Oh, I would say the 2019 is hotter than the 2020.
Yeah.
That 2020 is superb. If you walked into a brewery and they just said, hey, we just put this on draft, it's not that old, but it's still pretty good, you would be happy ordering a glass of that.
That one, and normally when I go into a brewery and they say, we got this bourbon barrel aged whatever it is, wee heavy or a stout or whatever it is, and I expect when they pour my glass and I smell it, it's going to be really boozy.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm okay with that because my mind is already ready for it.
I mean, you have to give a freshly kegged or freshly poured barrel-aged beer a little bit of like leeway in that it's going to be a smidgen hot.
Sure,
you know that going into it, but
now granted, we've had 5 other beers before this one.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's pretty
samples.
solid.
but
Really big samples.
that's probably the least hot.
Fresh.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, it could be a matter of what they aged it on.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we were better people, we would have done research about that before.
Well, and to go back to that, we had Zach over here had done a little bit of research, Google research.
Should I just tag Zach in at this point?
You can if you want.
And then Zach. I'm gonna give you another beer sales rep to talk.
So this is Zach. You'll remember him from our Zymergy vlog episode if you watched that one. Zach is now a beer rep for Lazy Monk, and he's got a lot of experience with beer.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of experience with beer.
A lot of experience.
Yeah.
10,000. Yeah.
So you had done a little bit of research about where they were getting these barrels. So Four Roses,
I think.
Heaven Hill.
They've had different props.
Yes, there you go.
And variations where they get really special barrels of
Sure.
Pappy Van Winkle, or they work especially with the distiller.
Yeah.
This guy of one of the variants this year actually has a Old Forester barrel that they used and everything, and worked with the distillery, which tastes good.
Right.
I'll do
And
more
that's the thing too. I mean, the allotment for the barrels that they can get, it's
They can get the best in the world. They
Right.
got the budget.
right. And some of these others, you're getting the best that they can afford, or the best that's available at the time.
Or that their
Right.
friends have.
Or that their friends have, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
All the connections, but
And Bourbon County is probably not the same barrel every year, right?
how big it's grown too, of when you think just in Chicago this was a rare beer and kind of was brand new to the market when they made it, to now you can get this everywhere the
Right.
day after Thanksgiving. How many hundreds, thousands of barrels they have just aging for 12, 18 months blending. It's
unheard of, right?
Yeah, you almost
just,
have to have someone going around just checking on that full time, all around, multiple people. It's be a great job, but
yeah, right?
how many of the barrels actually go bad out of the huge batch? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the scope is phenomenal.
The lab guy job is probably pretty good. But I don't know, what are your thoughts about even just the 2020?
Oh, this is beautiful and delicious. Like, there's nothing better than waking up and having Thanksgiving leftovers for breakfast just to get a good base and to drink heavy stouts the day after.
Yeah.
Best day of the year.
Best day of the year. Which one is your favorite? If you're going to have a favorite, which year?
So I jumped around, but
Yeah.
about the 2016, you lose a lot of the bright flavors that this has, and you just get a lot of the malt out there. And I love raisins in a stout. When it's falling out that deep, that's just coffee and raisins. And that 4 or 5 year period where anything else after that, it gets a little thin and weak, but there's some nice ones where it still holds up.
And I would recommend if you can get a hold of even 3 years worth, so this year's 2019 and 2018, do it at home. Just open up 3 bottles and, if you have a home where you can have people help you drink those, or at least people that can help you drink. If it were my home, then I would go, I don't know. I'm probably going to end up drinking these by myself. Thanks to Zach for giving his input on, get a healthy pour before you leave.
It's always fun to have a beer nerd neighbor who can
Right?
swing by. He's like the Kramer of this episode.
Everybody needs a Kramer. I live in an old neighborhood, as most of you know, where the street sweepers go by on an all too frequent basis. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think the 2018.
Ironically, yeah, the 2018 I think is the strongest of the 6 thus far.
It's got a lot of complex notes to it. There's a lot of flavors going on there, but boozy wise,
I would say it's the thing that I continuously talk about on this show is that balance.
yeah,
Looking for balance, and either you throw balance to the wind when you make a beer because you're like, I don't want this to be balanced at all. But generally speaking, I appreciate balance. I'd say this one is the most balanced between bourbon flavor and beer flavor. stout flavor.
Yep.
You start going on. I think Zach did a good job of explaining that. Like you go on to like 2015. She just thins out that malt flavor thins out so much by the time you get there that you lose the full experience that is Bourbon County. I think this is a good example too of like if you have beers you're aging, find a reason to drink them. I know 2020 is hard.
Well, and we've done
do that.
I think we've done a pretty decent job on the show of doing it where
I have a good excuse with the show.
Sit on something for a couple of years and go, well, it's about time.
The beauty of the show here is that we haven't. It's like you're putting it to like history, right?
Right.
Like
right. We got to document it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
but that being said, like make up an excuse, make a good meal on a Friday night, and crack open a bottle of something.
Especially when we start getting out of COVID times.
Oh.
Those are the times to pull all of the beers out.
I think post-COVID, we should all be opening fancy bottles and celebrating with various friends and whatnot.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you want to stop by once we're out of COVID times and enjoying the show, we'll do that.
We'll have a meetup somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's the joys of living next to the parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have an airport next to your house.
I have an airport and street sweepers going by.
I have a parking garage.
That's
it's just
good stuff.
I remember it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. There was a car that went off for 2 days straight in that parking garage.
Wow, that's a good battery.
Yeah, you talk about yeah, right. It was a fantastic battery.
Wow.
It's like if I had an RPG, I would destroy that car right now.
Come home from work and go, is it done yet? No,
nope.
Still going, huh?
3 a.m. you wake up, you're like, oh, thank goodness it's still
I don't
going.
ever wake up at 3 a.m, but I know you do.
Oh, you got to pee.
Yeah, I'm not old. Even though I'm older than you.
3 times a night, man. That's all I'm at.
Boy. Got to get that prostate examined. Anyway.
Where are we at for time?
I think we're about ready to wrap this up. Like I said, we'll have the variants in a separate episode after this, so if you don't want to watch it, don't. But otherwise, it's extra content.
I mean, if you want to watch just...
And we're going to be drinking, and there's going to be people that have drank far too much on the episode, so...
Uber.
Yep. Anyway, it's early in the day, so we're all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate if you've stuck around this long. Thank you so much.
We'll keep drinking Goose Island and talking about it, and we'll.
Yeah. Otherwise, next week we'll have something or another. It'll be inside or outside. Who knows what the weather's going to be like? So we live in Wisconsin. So anyway, subscribe to us and like us on all of the social media channels that we're on: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I guess, if you really need to. One of these days, we're going to get Troy to dance on TikTok too. So just wait for that.
I made a rap video in college. It didn't turn out well.
Anyway, until next week, let's I don't know. I'll pick
if someone's
2017.
If someone's good at digging through YouTube and they find Facebook and they find my Facebook, there's me rapping in a video.
Oh,
my college years.
Yeah, let's find that. We'll post that later. Anyway, prost everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click down below where there's some more episodes for you to watch. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on episodes that you do watch. We hope to see you next time.